Hi, I'm Jonathan from potency.world. Business, education, and social mobility transfer in one. And today I bring you a 21st century philosopher and the father of soft leadership. This is The Interview. Published over 54 books, and we're going to be talking about some of them today. I give you the amazing Professor Rao, Ph.D. Professor, how are you?
Yeah, good. I'm doing good, and thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. In fact, we wanted to have a conversation. I think around 10 days ago, I had some technical problem with the laptop,
Yeah.
so that led to some challenges. But you persisted, and somehow you fixed it. But by the time it was too late, the problem was from my end, but
Not
you
a
worked
problem.
very hard for more than 1 hour. And I was in Seattle, USA at that time.
Yeah.
Luckily, my son was available at that time, and
Yeah.
he resolved the technical problem.
He did.
And that was the challenge. And really, my son helped me. And I thank you for your empathy and your initiative, and above all, your great heart.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll tell you what, this is not about me, but I take that compliment to heart. So tell me, I mean, look, we'll talk later about our shared experience with illness, but looking right down the barrel of the camera right now, who is it that you want to communicate to with this interview?
Uh, Could you repeat the question? Because I'm a dyslexic. I grasp the things very slowly. This is the problem. Could you repeat that? Could you paraphrase the question?
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing is, I'm dyslexic too. And I know, and you and I have both had strokes. So if you grow your beard a bit longer, we could be brothers.
Yeah. One more thing. Yeah, we both are shaved heads. Only
Exactly.
thing, even I think
Yeah,
you look like a philosopher. Even I am also a
exactly.
professor. Even I am also a philosopher, but without beard. That is the only
Yes.
difference.
Well, this was the look I'm going for. I'm going for a sort of a wise professor sort of style. So really, given that you're the PhD and the professor, you're the person I'm modeling myself on. So the question was, who should look and listen to this interview today?
Yeah, I'm
Men,
looking.
women, business leaders, who?
No, I'm focusing on all leaders. I'm not targeting any particular audience as such. I'm just I want to share my ideas and insights
Mhm.
on education, learning, and mindfulness. So it all depends upon how you want to focus on the interview. But I'm very much open because I have. Yeah, let me share with you. I have published uh, 54
Yeah,
books
54
and
books.
54 books I published, and I have 44 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force, business, teaching, and training.
Hmm.
And I'm a late bloomer, dyslexic, ADHD, OCD, and
Hmm.
add to that, I had a brain stroke in the year 2021. For the
Yeah.
last 4 years, my right shoulder and right hand has been numb.
Mm.
My right hand doesn't work currently. I'm operating with my left hand, and I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. I don't
Right.
have two-wheeler. I don't have four-wheeler. I don't get any pension. I don't have any regular income. So, despite all the challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. So,
Yes.
added to that, I would like to share with you the fact is that we both are very resilient. We never give up.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. What do you mean when you say leaders? Because so I am a strong believer that you cannot lead anybody else until you can first lead yourself. What's your perspective on that?
No, see, you have to be independent. You have to lead. Only when you can lead, you can encourage others to lead. So it's like self awareness. If you have self awareness, so
Hmm.
you'll be able to examine yourself, and also you can enlighten others. So charity begins at home. In the sense, everything starts from us. So
Yes.
we have to lead from the front. That's what I'm telling. So only when we can lead from the front, then we can add value and impact the humankind. So everything boils down to charity. The charity begins at home. That means
Mm.
it has to start from within us. We have to self examine. We should
Hmm.
have self awareness. When we do so, then what happens? We'll be able to keep moving in the right direction, and we'll be able to add value and impact humankind. So it's like everything starts from self-awareness and self-leadership. When
Hmm.
we have that, definitely we can impact the people.
Other people. So I want to go back and touch on what you said about born into a toxic and growing up in a toxic environment. What
Yeah.
what what you obviously don't tell me anything you don't want to, but what do you mean when you say toxic?
Yeah, the thing is, I was born in India
Hmm.
in the year 1963, October 31st, and I was born in a small, tiny village, and I didn't have any right ambience. I didn't have good education, and
Right.
I have lots of. I'm a late bloomer, dyslexic, ADHD, OCD. OCD
Hmm.
means obsessive compulsive disorder. So lots of challenges I had, and my father was a litigant and a naysayer, and my mother was very naysayer, and I
Right.
was cursed with toxic siblings, and I joined. Luckily, I joined Indian Air Force at the age of 18. So after I joined the Indian Air Force, I grew as a healthy citizen. Otherwise, I
Right.
would have been in a toxic environment. So
Right.
I was very happy that Indian Air Force gave me an opportunity when I was 18 years old. When I was 18 years old, I came out of the toxic environment and became a soldier in the Indian Air Force. So
Okay.
I was happy in that way. And second thing was that my I after I joined the Indian Air Force, and I sent money to support my parents, because in India we have to support parents. So
Yes.
I was getting 400 rupees in the year 1982, February 4th, I joined Indian Air Force in India. Then I was getting a salary of around 400 rupees. So whatever the limited money was there, that I
Hmm.
sent to support my parents, everyone. Then I gave my money, gold, everything, my little bit of everything I have given. So unfortunately, my own siblings, they have backstabbed and betrayed. That was one challenge. Second
Yeah.
thing is that I served in the lowest rank of a corporal in the Indian Air Force. People might think that I was a commissioned officer, but I was not a commissioned officer. I served in the lowest rank of a corporal for 12 years. Then
Hmm.
my father-in-law invited me to join for business. And unfortunately, my father-in-law and brother-in-law both have stabbed and betrayed. That was one more challenge. First of all,
Wow.
first of all, I was cursed with the toxic siblings. Second thing is father-in-law and brother-in-law, they both backstabbed. Two, then I had business failures in the 2007. That was one more challenge.
Hmm.
So still, business challenges will happen. It's part of life. I
Yes.
didn't mind, but the biggest blow in my life was 2021. I collapsed. My right portion of the body was totally paralyzed during the COVID. So it was very challenging. For 1 year, literally, I was confined to bed and some nearby places. Then, because of my resilience and I have been hitting gym for more than 40 years.
Very
Three things I
good.
believed in my life. First of all, I go to temples in the nearby places. That's
Hmm.
one thing. Second thing is I go to gym. I'm a
Yes.
fitness freak too. For 40 years, I'm hitting gym. Two, third thing, wherever I go to libraries. Even in Seattle, USA, also I visited libraries. So these are
Hmm.
all the three aspects in my life. One is visiting the temples nearby. spiritualism, whatever it is
Yes.
you call. I used to go to pray to God. Now also I prayed God before interview. I prayed God that I want to do something for the world to impact
Mm.
the. I want to make a better world. So I prayed God. Then I came for the interview. This is what I do it. Okay, so because of that spiritualism, and second thing is my health fitness freak means for 40 years I'm going to gym, and third thing I visit libraries because I'm a voracious reader. I visit libraries. So these factors helped me, and they helped me shaped my character. That's how I led my life. So despite all the challenges, I'm not giving up, and we should
Yes.
never give up.
No. So I want to go back because you covered quite a lot very quickly. Um, so the environment as a young child was very negative,
Yeah, correct.
and when that is your formative experience, how old were you? So you joined the Air Force at 18, but you would have been very much influenced by this negativity at home.
Yeah.
Was the Air Force an escape for you? Was it something you did to get away?
No, I don't know. I would like to put it in this manner. So, right from my childhood, Abraham Lincoln has been my inspiration. That's one
Mm.
thing. And I had a dream to serve my country. So then I joined Indian Air Force. I
Right.
applied for Indian Air Force. So it was a dream to serve my country. Service is the hallmark of my personality, and
Mm.
I applied for defense, Indian Air Force, like Britain Air Force. We said earlier it was known as Royal Air Force. It was, now we have Indian Air Force.
Yeah.
I'm just connecting the dots. Okay, so after I joined the Indian Air Force, I grew as a healthy citizen. Right, so it was a dream to join Indian Air Force. It was a dream to serve my country. So because of that factor, I joined Indian Air Force, and even in the Indian Air Force, my life was very tough. I would get up every day morning. I think 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I don't remember. Daily, I used to go for running with the big boots, big
Yep.
shoes.
Yeah.
We used
Yeah.
to run, and it was very challenging. And we were sleeping very limited time because I was 18 years. So it was people, they were running away from Indian Air Force. Some people ran away. One or two people died. Not died. They committed suicide because of the pressure in the Indian Air Force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Military was very tough and challenging, but I had a dream to serve my country. I had passion to wear uniform. That
Yes.
led me to bear all the challenges, and I started adapting. And it was a boon in disguise because I came out of the toxic environment.
Yes.
That was a blessing in disguise.
Well,
Okay, so
sorry.
sorry, yeah.
Well, I was just going to say because
Yeah.
it's
So,
interesting to.
yeah. Then I joined Indian Air Force, and it was very difficult because we have to wear big boots and then again, then we wake up morning. Then again, we had to run around 15 kilometers in that. Teenage, I was 18 years old. Then again, we had to come back immediately. Then again, we had to take breakfast. Then again, we go for parade. Then again, it was very tough and challenging for every
Yes.
soldier.
Yes.
But India or America or UK, everywhere the format is same, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
Well, what I find interesting though is the fact that you've come from this negative environment with a dream to serve. And I think that what can happen is people go one of two ways from the environment they're raised in. They either go away from it. So, like yourself, you chose to serve, you chose to do something that was going to challenge you, whereas some people become their parents and continue the negativity. What I want to know is this: did you? So, were you a pilot?
no, I was not a pilot. Let me share with you.
Yeah.
I served in the lowest rank of a corporal. Like Hitler. He was a corporal, means lowest rank. Okay,
Hmm.
he rose to uh, chancellor of Germany. Okay, I was a couple. That means couple means very lowest rank. I was a couple.
Yes,
For
two
12 years,
stripes.
yeah, good, very good, very good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, good. Thank you for understanding. Thank you, thank you. So people might think that I was an officer. No, first of all, I was not blessed with the convent education, and I was
Hmm.
not blessed with the English language. And I started with my Telugu language, and
Oh,
Telugu, not my. I had to learn English. I used to mug up because and I started learning British English because we are from Indians, so they follow this British English, right?
yes.
Because we came from this Indian Air Force came from Royal that is British Air Force, so
Yeah.
we acquired from British, and we Indians follow that British style of discipline,
Yes.
right? So this is how it has changed. So so then I started adapting with the.
Yep.
I was learning English because I was not. I didn't know English also when I joined. I was speaking Telugu, and I didn't have English language convent education. I started with Telugu language, and there were no
How
opportunities.
how
And
did
my
you
father
do? Sorry, how did you do that? Learn English? How?
learning English, yeah.
Yeah.
I was speaking in Telugu only.
Hmm.
Then because I don't know why I was very much interested. Whenever people speak in English, I'll go and observe what they were. As a child, I was very curious by nature.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I was very curious. Whenever people speak English, oh, these people, oh, he knows English. So let me what this speak. He was speaking English. What he was speaking, I didn't know actually. So I used to, because I was even from childhood somewhere. Oh, he speak, oh, I think he speak English. Yeah. Then he will go and listen what he was speaking. Because I was not understanding.
Mm.
I was very curious.
Yes.
I was curious actually.
So,
So
what?
then I started learning English. Then after I joined Indian Air Force, I was speaking Telugu. Then I was speaking in Hindi also because we
Right.
speak Hindi,
Hmm.
Hindi, then English too. And Telugu was my mother tongue. So three languages we started speaking, and out of
Wow.
that, finally I shifted to English because I was more comfortable with English rather than with Telugu language. After I joined the Indian Air Force,
Yeah, I
so
do.
that
Go on.
then I adapted myself, and I served for 12 years in the lowest rank of a couple,
Hmm.
and I acquired six qualifications in the Indian Air Force. It's a very
Really?
interesting story.
Go on.
When I was 18, I joined Indian Air Force, and I was doing a degree.
Hmm.
Then I discontinued my degree. Then again, I paid some condonation fee. Then I completed my degree. Usually, degree takes 3 years in India, but
Yeah.
for me, it took more than 4 years, which I discontinued because I was in service. Then
Mm.
what I did, I took tuitions, and I was getting very limited salary at that time. And I used to go to libraries in India, wherever
Yeah.
I was there in India, because I was not posted in one particular place in India, because
Yes.
I was posted in military units. I was posted in different units, and that I was working in different time zones in the Indian Air Force. Because sometimes morning I will wake up, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes night to night, because our time zones were different in the Indian Air Force,
Mm.
because it was a
Mm.
military life. And I was posted in different places, in different time zones, but still I have to learn. I have to earn my livelihood because I needed money to support myself and also to support my parents. Then again, I put my money for the education of my education with limited money. Then I visited libraries because I didn't know how to go to colleges. So I used to prepare my own notes by visiting the libraries in India. And
Hmm.
then I completed six qualifications. I got a DME from aeronautical engineering from Indian Air
Yep.
Force. Then I got my BSc from science. Then I got my MA in arts.
Very
Then I
good.
got my PGDCLL, labor laws I have done. Then I got my MBA, that is a distance education.
Yeah.
Then I got one more PGD. Those are six qualifications I had. So all these qualifications I acquired through private education, not through regular education. People might think
Mm.
that I acquired qualifications from Cambridge or Harvard. I started of my own. Mostly I learned by my own curiosity and because of
So
my enthusiasm. That's why I
yes.
have come up to this level.
So you're very much self-taught, and what I think is important about that is that when we started this interview, we talked about how you have to learn to lead yourself, and clearly, something about this environment that you were born into led to this incredible curiosity. And
Ah,
what I want to know now is, you described yourself as a late bloomer. Was late 18 onwards, or do you think you bloomed even later than that?
no, I am still a late bloomer because I can't catch up certain things. Even if you observe my, if it is my weak, now I am telling my weakness. If you say something, then again I'll ask them, could you repeat the question? Because I can't connect the things very quickly. That's the problem. That's why, especially, I speak from Indian accent, and
Mhm.
luckily you speak from British accent, but still Indian accent and British accent, some synergy is there
Yeah.
because we lived in colonial era, so we have
Yeah.
some connectivity, and because of this British, we learned English.
Mm.
There are the advantage with British is that we learnt English is the common language across the India. Not only India, even if you look at Bangladesh or
Yeah. Yeah.
Pakistan, the common language is English.
Yes. Unfortunately, England did a lot of empire building.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, here's what I find interesting then. So, is your PhD an honorary PhD, or is it a PhD that you earned like your other qualifications?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll come back to that one. I acquired six qualifications
Yeah.
in the private education. Then in the year 2007, I applied for PhD
Hmm.
in the year 2007.
Wow.
And 2007, I had a business setbacks, and nobody came forward to help me at that time. As I told you, my fatherland, brotherland, they backstabbed and betrayed. So that was one more challenge. So
Hmm.
at that time, what happened? Education helped me overcome my adversity because I
Right.
needed to have MBA to join for to become a faculty member,
Right.
right? Because I needed money because I was getting around 8,000 or 9,000 rupees per a month, and I supported my wife and two sons with limited money.
Yeah.
Then I became a faculty member in the year 2007. And to become a faculty member in the year 2007, I needed MBA. And luckily, I had MBA,
Yes.
Master of Business Administration, which was
Yep.
required. I had six qualifications. Out of six, one qualification I have utilized. That is this MBA. Then education helped me overcome my adversity, and I got my money regularly. Then I started my journey as an educator. I was an
Right.
entrepreneur. I couldn't do well. Then I became an educator. Then in the month of December, I applied for PhD,
Hmm.
right? And it was a turning point in my life. In the month of December 2007, I applied for PhD. To apply for PhD, I needed to have MBA, which I had. I
Yep.
needed to have 10,000, which somehow I managed because 10,000 rupees fee at that time was very difficult for me at
Yes.
that time because I was
Yes.
getting 8,000 rupees salary. So I managed it because I was passionate about education, right?
Mm.
Then I already published some articles in the 1991 to 1993. I published published. I was contributing articles to various newspapers. Then I published in some magazines. Then I showed the what they call printouts of the clippings of my articles published. Then I showed my MBA qualification. Then I paid a fee of 10,000 rupees. Then I joined for my PhD in the month of December 2007. Then what happened? 2008 January, things have changed. Rules were changed, and I was lucky that I escaped that problem. If I delayed by a few days, then my salary would have been I would I would have I would have joined for my PhD because rules were changed. One.
Right.
Second thing, the amount was more, which I did effort. So luckily, I in the month of December 2007, I joined for my PhD, and it was a nice step in my life. If I delayed by a few days, then I wouldn't have joined for my PhD, and I would have pursued my PhD. Then I applied for PhD. Then I got my PhD in the year 2011.
So, my question to you is this, and I'll be including anyone watching this video, I'll be including Professor Rao's blog spots and his published articles and also his Amazon book link. He's going to talk about his books in a moment. Do you consider yourself to be lucky, or do you consider yourself to have been in the right place at the right time? Is it personal luck that you got those few days difference? Or is it your determination?
It's not luck. It's not luck. I believe in pluck, not luck.
Very good, very good. So I
don't believe in luck. If I were lucky, then I would have gone for Harvard or then Cambridge, right? And I forgot to tell you, I applied for postdoctoral course in Harvard in the year 2016, and I was close to go for postdoctoral course from Harvard, very reputed one. I wanted to go for Harvard. Unfortunately, I was not shortlisted in the year 2016. Otherwise, I would have completed a postdoctoral course in Harvard. Harvard is a very reputed one. So lots of setbacks. If I were so lucky, I would have been born in a healthy family, and I would have been having a good life. Then I would have led in a very rosy life. So,
I disagree with you on that, because it sounds very much to me like the struggle that you faced from birth in the army, the Air Force, to struggles with entrepreneurship, to seeking out your own learning. That is the difference between someone who radiates as you do and someone who feels entitled. So I actually think that the struggle is what made you stronger. Now, I want to move on because we've only got a little time left. At the moment, you're a contributor to the Entrepreneur Leadership Network, and we're obviously speaking to entrepreneurs with this video. Tell me a bit about, we looked at 2 books before we started recording. Tell me about those.
Which one? You mean to say books or entrepreneur magazine?
The 2 books that you showed me before we started recording.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I have, there are 54 books I have published.
Yeah.
Now I can't show all the books. But this is the book. I'm passionate about education and learning. And I have set up my vision. I decided to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030.
Fantastic.
This is the book. And this book I had dedicated to former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, because I admire him a lot. And Dr. Kiran Bedi, the first woman IPS officer, has written a foreword for this book. This is about education and learning. I'm passionate about education and learning. Right? And I don't have any guide, I don't have any mentor, I don't have any coach. So what I thought, let me mentor, let me counsel, let me guide the people, because whatever the gap I'm having, others should not have that gap, because I was not blessed with all the things. So at least let me shape the next generation of leaders. That's what I decided. So I started grooming people. Then I built 50,000 students as global leaders, which is it's a non-profit one. And despite having money problem, all the problems, but still I was so much. It is a non-profit. And I keep sharing, but unfortunately, I had a brain stroke in the COVID was a dampener, and I had a brain stroke, and I slowed down. So the rest, you know it. And second book you are talking about is this is one more very this is an award-winning book. See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword. And I'm grateful to Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, for writing a foreword this book, and I admire him a lot. I admire him a lot. He's in India, and for every book, I approach the right people. because it is about spirituality. Then after writing the book, then I was thinking, who is the right person who can write for this book? Then the person who flashed on my mind is His Holiness Dalai Lama. Then I sent an email, and there was no response. Then again I persisted, because I never give up. I will never give up. Okay.
Good.
Then again I persisted with His Holiness Dalai Lama. Then he said, "You said the entire manuscript." Then he took more than a month. Then he read it and he enjoyed it, and he wrote a foreword for my book. This is my association with His Holiness Dalai Lama. I am always grateful to His Holiness Dalai Lama for giving me for writing a foreword this book. And without that, I wouldn't have come up to this level.
Well, you know what I think is true as we come to the end of our time here today is that anyone watching this interview cannot be in any way confused that you are self-driven, and that the lessons that people can learn from you is persistence, is a strength of character, is curiosity, is the ability to lead yourself, and the overcoming of obstacles. Now, we're not going to talk today about the fact we've both had strokes, but you, like I'm in a nursing home at the moment because I broke my ankle recently, and I did 90 minutes of exercise in my bed this morning. So
you won't believe, now also I am doing daily, twice I am doing physiotherapy exercise. It's a number.
Yes.
It's very number.
So
my right hand has been numb. Daily I am doing physiotherapy exercises to overcome my numbness. I want to get back to the feet, and I want to write books. I want to type. I want to eat with now I can't eat with my right hand, and I can't type with my right hand. It's very challenging, but we will never give up.
Not yet. Not yet.
So
it is the principle of growth mindset that you embody, that everything you've done has been about. So we live in a world with instant gratification. People have their phones and they think they don't need to learn things because all the answers are here. But if you don't know the questions to ask, you will never learn anything. Now, we're going to go now. And what I'm going to do is
just I beg you. You referred about growth mindset. It was said by Carol Dweck. Oh, we are thinking alike. See how much knowledge you are having. I know, right? Because I also did a lot of research about you. It's not easy. I think 10 days back itself, I worked for one day, 24 hours. I worked hard for one video. You won't believe the kind of efforts I am putting. People take very easily and go. I never do that. When I do something, I justify. In the sense, I worked for more than 24 hours for one particular interview some 10 days back. You can imagine the kind of passion I have and the commitment this particular conversation.
Well, I appreciate the work you've done, and I appreciate you turning up and speaking to people that are going to watch this video. And what I'd say to viewers is Professor Rao is on LinkedIn. I'll be including his LinkedIn profile and his email address and links to his book under this video. Reach out to him and connect with him, because his vision for 1 million leaders is something which I think is it's amazing, it's visionary, and it comes from a place of humility and appreciation. What you've shown me today is that you have great gratitude. In spite of everything that's happened to you, you have gratitude. And this is a thing that I think we learn when we get to a certain age. The only thing I'm going to say is that on the cover of your book and your LinkedIn profile, you've got a picture of you as a young man. I've got my, exactly. I've got my white beard. I'm not doing any of this false advertising. I don't know. It's right. Professor
And
Rao.
one more thing,
Go on.
Attitude of gratitude is something I also like.
Yeah, okay.
Attitude of gratitude. I often talk about everyone. We should have that gratitude. And if you see, everywhere at the end, with gratitude, I would put, because
Yeah,
we have to be grateful for this opportunity. We should
absolutely.
express from our heart. We should
Yes,
express our gratitude from our heart. Because see, money comes and goes.
yes,
Money doesn't make any sense according to me. What matters is we have to add value and impact the people. We should build a better world. We should we should make a better world
yes,
to build a better world and to build a better world. And also we have to leave a next generation of leaders.
yes.
This is my vision.
So I will just close off this interview by saying
Okay.
that the chances of you or me even to exist in this universe
Yeah.
is something like 400 trillion to one. The
Oh,
chances of your parents, their parents, going back to the
yeah,
beginning of
correct.
humans,
Oh,
400 trillion to one. Now,
yes.
if you say goodbye to the people watching, I am then going to ask you when we stop recording about a song choice that you would like. And if I'm able to use the song in this video, I will add it to the end, but I'll ask you about that afterwards. So say goodbye to the viewers. Say goodbye. Hey. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Fantastic interview. Go back. There's so many nuggets of information here that I am in awe of this young-looking man, even if the picture he uses is false advertising. Right, Professor Ralph, thank you so much.